Oh, hello. My name is Brett. Sometimes I wear a beret. I am not Walcom. This is not Fuzzy Walrus Industries. But this is the reactor, and we're going to talk about it. On Tag Back! Nailed the voice. Nailed it!
You, YouTube land. Buy the shirt. Link, description, box.
You heard of ballistic balls? You like ballistic balls? Well, this isn't really a ballistic ball, but it's pretty close to one. For those of you who don't remember, there was a time when rival balls weren't really the main balls on the field. The reactor was one blaster that shot them. And this is actually one of the most, I would argue, one of the two most iconic thrifting blasters you'll ever see. That behind the Maverick, perhaps. I know this because I went thrifting earlier today and I found two reactors in the same Goodwill. So that's what I'm going with. These things show up everywhere, but not always like this. I actually purchased a reactor when it first came out because this version came out in 2006, I believe. This one with the light blue, orange, and green. But before that, we had the AirTech ball blaster. That was in 2002. Yes, I'm reading this off of notes because I can't remember this stuff. It came out in 2003. Well, there was one that came out in 2002, AirTech ball blaster. Then in 2003, another version came out. And then in 2004, the Atom blasters and Action blasters. That was the purple, orange, and red one. That's the other more common, or less common variant you might see. But this is one you'll probably be very familiar with. And then after that, there were some knockoffs that came out too from Leonard and Blvd, such as the Cosmic Thruster and the and the Blvd Ball Blast Bazooka, which is actually a very interesting name, the Blast Bazooka. You've come a long way, Blvd. So the Nerf Reactor. How does this work? If you don't know, you take your ballistic balls, usually they're green, but this is actually from an ERTL pump-action shotgun. They're the same caliber. You can load up to 6 in one of these. I'm gonna just load a couple. It comes with 4 though. Good job, Nerf. There's no trigger, but you pull it back and you push it forward. The faster you push it forward, the better it shoots. Now, I said before that I actually picked one of these up when it first came out, when I was a little bit newer to nerfing, but a very kind fellow sent me one as well, new in package, so I forgot that it came with only 4 balls. Interesting. But it says on the back, launch tube, hand grip, pump handle, pump and launch blasting, using your ballistic balls. Gosh, what a time this was. And they did have ballistic ball refill packs, as they show right here. If you find any of those today, I don't know if they're more valuable in package or if you want to play with them, because these balls disappear very easily. You thought your rival rounds were hard to cut back? Well, once you lose one of these, you're probably down a couple bucks. So that's what makes it so hard to justify running around with these. But with a potential range claim, I think it says 25 feet max. No, it doesn't really claim any ranges on the box. But it doesn't fire that far. And there's not really much mod potential, so why would you want to use a reactor in the first place? Or what mod potential does the reactor have? Well, I can think of 2 things that I've seen a little more frequently. One, the reactor can be singled. You can take out a little bit of this front, shove a piece of PVC back there, and then you've got kind of a hamp style blaster. Might be a little inaccurate when you're aiming like that and you have to reload one shot just to do this, but it's not terrible. As I've seen, there are a few videos out there that show you how to do this, but nowadays you might have better options out there already. The second mod that comes to mind when I think of the reactor is just cannibalizing it for the spring, unfortunately. If you're familiar with Vortex, one way that you can actually make extended magazines for Vortex discs is using the spring that's in here. You can hear it rattling a lot. I heard it rattling a lot on my drive over here. They're very loud, so put that spring to good use. But yes, that kind of does destroy the reactor in the process. Outside of that, I don't really know what else you can do with this blaster for modding potential, which makes it hard to justify when you buy about 18 of them. That's right, I thrifted 17 of these at once because they were in very good condition, and I decided to use them as game props, because most of the time you don't have someone using a reactor in a game. One of our regular attendees, Lance, you've probably seen videos from him before with his very cool mods on Walcom's channel, has made a portal gun out of one of these reactors. Now, it fit the aesthetic pretty well, you could still load it pretty easily, but there wasn't any performance boost to the reactor, so it still shot pretty mediocre at best. Okay, it shot really poorly, but it was still pretty cool to look at. The reactor, is it worth your time? Is it worth your money? Maybe not in this day and age, but there's still something so iconic about this ball blaster that, I don't know, it made me buy a bunch of them, and I've used them before, so if you use them in some way, good for you. So that's all I've got to say about the Nerf Reactor. It's got its place in history, but I don't think it's got its place in the future for Nerf. Thank you everyone for watching. If you'd like to see someone run this in a game maybe, I guess you could tune into my channel. I might run one of these in a game with balls, see how that goes. I guess I've run worse stuff before. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you in the future.